I've been family testing the new Volvo XC60 Ultimate B5 Bright over the last few weeks. This medium luxury SUV competes against heavyweights like the BMW X3, Audi Q5 and even the Lexus NX. Over the holiday period, I have thrown road trips, kids and pets at this, and in the video I'm going to show you how the XC60 has handled life with my family of three. There are 4 variants for the XC60, which are split evenly between a B5 petrol engine and the T8 plug-in hybrid engine. Our test vehicle is the top spec ultimate grade with the B5 petrol engine. Without any packages, this will cost you $80,990 before on-road costs, which is a $1,000 price hike for the 2024 model year. The standard features list is pretty solid with electric and heated front seats, Google Assistant and Maps, as well as a 9-inch touchscreen multimedia system and a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. Our model has also been fitted with a climate pack for $150, which adds headlight cleaners, as well as a lifestyle pack which adds $13,800 to the price tag. You do get quite a few features for that though, despite it being expensive, like the panoramic sunroof, Bowers & Wilkins sound system, Napa leather upholstery, as well as front seat ventilation function and front seat massage function and air suspension and tinted rear windows. Add on the $2,050 for the Thunder Grey paintwork, and this actually slides in closer to $96,990 before on-roads. That places it more towards the top end of the market compared to its rivals, but the BMW still has it beat. The XC60 ticks the sophisticated box for me. It looks mature and graceful with its wide stance and well-proportioned body. I really love the pronounced bonnet and the stylish grille that features these Hammer of Thor inspired headlights. You gotta love that Scandi heritage. Despite its stately curbside appeal, it's not a boring looking car. The 20-inch dual-colored alloys, dark tinted windows and chromy accents make it look almost sporty. Overall, I think this is a design that will definitely age well. The interior is understated and not as flashy as some of its rivals, and it's probably here that Volvo could have dialed it up a notch, but it's a good looking cabin. And the dashboard looks and feels solid with high quality trims, a chunky steering wheel and this gorgeous crystal e-shifter. I also like just how all the design aspects like the multimedia screen and vents just flow nicely together. It just enhances the premium aspect of this car. Families will really appreciate the cabin of this car. Both rows are fairly roomy for the class and these front seats are really comfortable and supportive. I've enjoyed doing longer road trips in this. The only thing I'll mention though is that the electric toggle on the side of them controls the lumbar, side, under thigh supports and the massage function, and flipping between all of them can be a little bit confusing at first. I've enjoyed having the 2-seat memory function on both of the front seats because I've been traveling a lot with my husband over the holiday period. And I love having the panoramic sunroof because it really lightens this cabin space. The storage up front is good for the class and I like how large the glove box is. You get the usual drink bottle holders, but I really like how big the storage bins are in each front door. The charging options are also good with both rows enjoying 2 USB-C ports, and the front also gets a 12-volt port and a wireless charging pad to choose from. The multimedia system is responsive and pretty easy to use once you spend some time with it. I like that it has wired Apple CarPlay and that you get 4-zone climate control in here. It was honestly a godsend on those blistering hot days for my son. The only thing though is that the fan control, at least at the front, can be a little bit slow to respond. The digital instrument cluster looks good but isn't super customizable, and I do like fiddling with things like that to personalize a driving experience. The back seat is almost as comfortable as the front with how ergonomic and cushioned they are. I like how wide the seat is too. I think you could fit 3 adults back here without too many grumbles. I also have plenty of room for my 168 centimeter height, and it's an easy car to get in and out of with the higher ground clearance. The amenities back here are good for the class. You get map pockets, a pull-down armrest with 2 cup holders, drink bottle holders in each door, as well as 4 sets of directional air vents, and your own individual climate control. There are ISOFIX child seat mounts on the outboard seats plus 3 top tethers. There's also plenty of room for front passengers when a 0 to 4 rearward facing child seat is installed. My family's favourite feature though are the built-in booster seats that this row has. The booster seat can be set to 2 different levels, which will cater to a different height and weight of a child. I have found them to be very handy this week. Not having to install a child seat has been one less thing for me to worry about, and my son has had the independence of being able to buckle himself in, which is great. Plus, when they're not in use, they blend in seamlessly to the seat. The boot is a great size at 483 litres, and I had plenty of space for all of my holiday luggage. I really like that the back seat has a 60-40 split and a ski-through access port because it opens up storage options. The loading space is level, and underneath the floor you have a temporary spare tyre. I also like that you can change the level of the car with the air suspension using the buttons on the side, and it's always handy having a power tailgate. The XC60 has a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine with a maximum power output of 183 kilowatts and 350 newton meters of torque. It's an all-wheel drive and has a smooth 8-speed auto transmission. There's also a very mild hybrid element which helps in stop-start traffic to improve fuel economy. Overall, this has the goods to make this a very lovely open-roader. I have found the XC60 to be a relaxing ride. It does what it's expected to do when it's meant to do it most of the time. It's got enough power that you can easily do open roading, which is great. And while the suspension is on the firm side, it's still a very well cushioned ride. The only time it really skips a beat for me is when you're slowing down, but you're not coming to a full stop, and then you have to accelerate. So say you're waiting for a gap in traffic to merge onto a street, it can feel a little bit clumsy because there's a short delay in when you put your foot down to when the power surges. The adaptive steering keeps this feeling very nimble, and it's easy to maneuver those horrible tight streets in the city or a very small car park. It actually feels like a much smaller car than what it is because of it, and I really like that in an SUV of this size. The cabin space is nice and quiet, even when you're at higher speeds with the wind and road noise. The only time that it does creep up a little bit in the cabin is when you have torrential rain on that panoramic sunroof. This is a lovely car to park. It has front and rear parking sensors and a really good and clear 360-degree view camera system. You won't have any trouble pulling this into a space. The official combined fuel cycle on this is 7.6 litres per 100 kilometres, and my real-world usage came to 8.1 litres. I thought that was pretty economical considering that I did a really good mix of urban and open road driving this week, and I didn't hold back when it came to the power usage. Based on the combined cycle and the large 71-litre fuel tank, expect a driving range of around 934 kilometres. Naturally, being a Volvo, you'd be right in assuming that the XC60 has a robust safety features list. But a standout for me is the Volvo designed Side Impact Protection System, or SIPS, which reinforces the steel framework at the sides of the car and disperses energy to other parts of the car in the event of a side collision. At the time of this video, the new XC60 hasn't been tested with ANCAP, but all previous versions did achieve a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating. It has 7 airbags, including a driver's knee airbag, but the full safety specs are in my written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. The XC60 comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty term, which is a normal term for the class. You can pre-purchase either a 3 or 5-year servicing plan, and the 5-year plan costs a flat $3,000. Or an average of $600 per service, which is great for the class. Servicing intervals are reasonable at every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. The Volvo XC60 Ultimate B5 Bright is a fine example of a family car that actually caters to families. It's got a stack of practical features inside which will help with everyday living and a good amount of occupant and boot space for the class. I really like how it handles on the road and that its ongoing costs are quite reasonable for a luxury SUV. This gets an 8.4 out of 10 from me. My husband and son really liked this one and had a high level of comfort. My son really likes the built-in booster seats, and we all loved that he had total independence this week. They give it a 9 out of 10. If you're after more details, check out my written review at carsguide.com.au, and I'll see you next week.